Hey guys, I'm Dave and welcome to another episode of Debt Free Differently. Today I wanted to share our step-by-step strategy that helped us pay off $82,539.60 of debt in 20 months. Your journey might look a little bit different in the end, but I hope that these practical steps will help you get started or give you some ideas on your own debt-free journey. Of course, if you learned something new or like this video, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to keep learning how to pay off debt, manage your money, and build wealth a little bit differently. Now let's go. Step 1, take ownership of your debt. This sounds simple, but before you can start paying off debt, you have to know what you're working with. That means listing out all of your debts one by one with the amounts and including their names. Student loans, credit cards, past due bills, anything. A lot of people are scared of this part, and I get that, but this is a critical thing for you to know how big of a hole you're in and how big of a shovel you'll need to get out. In some cases, this will add up to a really big number that you've been hiding from, but I've actually had some friends who have done this and ended up with a number that they realize they can take care of in months, not years. For us, we had some credit card debt, medical expenses, I put solar panels on the house for some reason, and student loans, and that number was over $80,000. Step 2, create a budget. To be able to pay off debt successfully, you need a budget. This is a critical part of your ability to manage your money going forward and know what's coming in and know what's going out. And this doesn't have to be overly complicated. You write down all of your expenses for the week or the month or 2 weeks, whatever works for you, and compare that to your income. And when I talk about expenses, I mean list every single one of them. That can be public transportation, your utilities, groceries, electricity, your cell phone bill, those entertainment expenses that are probably going to be at risk once your budget is all said and done. List out all of them. You do this to see where you're at. It's the current state of your finances. You're also doing this to see where you can cut some costs, especially if you find that you're in the negative. If you're in the black, you can hypothetically see how long it would take you to become debt-free if you took all of that money and put it towards your debt. If you're watching this video, chances are that takes a little bit longer than you'd like it to. And that's where you start cutting costs. Can you switch to a cheaper cell phone plan? Can you lower your grocery expenses? Can you eliminate some, if not all, of your entertainment expenses for some short period of time? For us, we did all of the above and more. We switched our cell phone plan to Xfinity Mobile and cut our bill in half. We lowered our grocery bill by $50 per week because that gave us $200 per month to put towards debt. The very few times that we went to restaurants, we used old gift cards that we had lying around or 2-for-1 coupons that we found online. We treated paying off debt like it was our job because it was our job. Step 3, choose a strategy. There are a lot of different ways to pay off debt. Some people do the debt avalanche, which means you work from big to small. Other people do the debt snowball, which means you work from small to big. For other people who are really into math, they think that interest rates matter most. All that matters is that you choose the strategy that works best for you. Personally, I'm a big believer in the debt snowball, which means that you throw everything you have at your smallest debt first and pay the minimums on everything else, regardless of interest rates. As you pay off debts one by one, you take whatever amount you're paying towards your target debt and roll that into your next smallest debt. While the total number of your debts goes down, the amount of money you're able to pay towards them goes up. You just start chopping them down one by one. For us, the debt snowball was the way to go because it felt like we got rewarded along the way. With the other methods, they might take a little bit more willpower, but you do what works for you. You just have to choose a strategy and stick to it. Step 4, pick up side jobs. If you're serious about getting out of debt, you have to pick up some side jobs. I don't even care what they are or really how much each one makes. Every dollar counts when you're getting out of debt. Side jobs help put you in the headspace that you're going to put in the work to get out of debt. The best part with side jobs is that all of the money that you make from them has its own job. That job is paying off debt. I made a whole video on how we made $50,000 in a year using side jobs, and I'll link to that, and I hope it helps you get started. Step 5, write down your goals and share them. This might be less of a step and more of a strategy, but it really worked for us. After we had our budget, did the math, and had our side gigs, we pretty much knew exactly how long it should take us to get out of debt. We got a letterboard and we hung it in our room. We added months with goals next to them. Those could be things like all credit cards paid off, under $50,000 in debt, first student loan paid off, etc., etc. We saw that board every day, and I truly believe that it was a big reason why we hit our goals. We also told friends what we were doing. I said we're gonna pay off $80,000 of debt in under 2 years, way too many times. Some people thought we were crazy, but most people thought it was cool, and they said something like, I should do that. And I would tell them, you can. Telling friends helped them understand why we might not be spending money on something or going out to dinner with them. And also, just by throwing it out there into the universe, these things became facts, not just dreams. Step 6, track your progress. This is all about keeping yourself both accountable and motivated. Choose a day every month and write down your progress. If you're into numbers, you can also calculate how much of your debt you took down that month. Some people get really creative with it. They get to fill in a line on a thermometer, kind of like a fundraiser for paying off debt. And it's really about whatever helps you to visually see your progress and feel really proud of the work that you've put in. If you have a spouse or a partner who's on this journey with you, maybe it's your kid. This is something that you absolutely do together. This is a ceremony that you guys share together so that you can be proud of each other. By tracking your progress, you can see where you're at and see if you have to make some adjustments along the way. But either way, as you see these numbers change, you can be proud of yourself for changing your life $1 at a time. So that's what I got, guys. I hope that these steps will help you feel motivated, get organized, or accelerate your own debt-free journey. At the end of the day, there are lots of different ways to get out of debt. Your strategy might be different, your side jobs might be different, but your results can absolutely be the same, and they can be your story of your real-life way that you became debt-free. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of Debt Free Differently.